Welcome, ladies and gentlemen. Hope everybody's having another fantastic Sunday evening. This is all around advanced. I will never get tired of this jingle. God bless Cap'n Fappin. But anyway, I am Terry, of course, and this week our guest is the roaming soldier of I Buy Winrar, Grape Juice the Third. Hello, my friend.
Hello, hello.
I hope you're ready to dissect some advance with me as I switch scenes over here.
I'm as
Another
ready as I'll
week.
ever be.
Yes, sir. Another week of advanced in the books. 10 matches done, 6 more to go. And let's start things off with a couple of roster news. I Buy Winrar has made a change. They have taken Apt out and then put Percy in. So Percy, longtime IM player, and is back and I guess de-rusting. But more exciting news is on the horizons because Romney 5 is no longer dead. They were recently pronounced or announced dead, but now a salvage, a hijack, whatever you want to call it, a play has been made on this roster. So what you have going on here is Slice Rogue stays, Fancy Sun stays, GMK is being brought off of the bench, and now they're going to be joined by Alfredo Dan, previously from Rock Bottom. They're going to be joined by Hypno, previously on Predatory Lending Practices. And then Charis, the longtime medic, is going to be joining this team on Combo Scout, I believe, if I check my notes. Except I didn't write it down, so never mind. But he'll be playing Scout of some kind. A couple of teams now, I guess, have gone through this bizarre we're dead except we're not dead, and now they're here. So Romney 5 has a brand new roster to compete with for the final weeks of the season. So based on that lineup that I just said, so Charis and Hypno on Scout, you have GMK and Fancy Sun on Soldier, Alfredo Dan on Demo, and then Slice Rogue on Medic. Give me some of your thoughts regarding this new lineup. Great.
Cheris on Scout.
Charis on Scout. I haven't seen him play too much Scout. Again, obviously he's the longtime medic main, so most players, myself included, really only know him as a medic. I know he's dabbled in a couple of off classes here and there throughout the Twilight ESEA seasons. So we'll see if Grape Juice's assessment of Charis Scout. We'll see what that brings, especially going into this week because it's a Gully Wash week.
GMK Soldier is also pretty solid.
Yeah, GMK, I think the projectiles on this team, very, very solid. GMK, Fancy Sun, and then Alfredo Dan coming out of Rock Bottom, or coming away from Rock Bottom. And then Hypno's no slouch either. Obviously, his team, unfortunately, got hijacked. It was weird for him, right? Like, his team died, and then his roster got hijacked, and now he's part of a new revival on a different roster that was going to die. So he's been having a roller coaster, as have many other teams and players throughout this season. But I mean, that's pretty much it. Things are slowly settling down now in the division. Of course, speaking of Rock Bottom, they are officially dead, unfortunately. Tibby tried his best to perform, life-saving surgery on this roster for like the past 3 weeks, it seems. So, everyone please, applause in the chat for Tibby for the valiant effort that he did. But unfortunately, at the end of the day, it was not enough, and Rock Bottom will be pronounced dead, and they will be the second team casualty this season. I would love to say I hope they're the last, but knowing TF2 players, I know that's definitely not the case, and we're going to see at least one more team death before playoffs roll around. So they will join Eels and Escalators, gone but not forgotten. And yeah, that's pretty much all the roster news. Let's talk about some of those matches that we had on Sunshine Week. Let's just dive right into the big one. All right, Goblin Zone versus Cat Posse. I don't know if anyone tuned into the Kurama stream. I know I caught the tail end of that match when after my team was done with scrims, but this was the big upset. I mean, Cat Posse, the undefeated team, 9-0 or maybe 8-0 going into the match. Goblin Zone on a hot streak, like I alluded to last week's episode. I said they had the team that had the most momentum in all the div, and they kind of showed it with the 5-4 nail biter victory here. What was your first reaction, Grape, when you saw this result?
What the fuck? That's crazy. And also, I was watching a little bit of the toss episode last week, and I came in around the time that you were talking about the IM curse.
Yes,
And
sir.
this match means that Cat Posse will now win the division.
I mean, it's
So
pretty much, it's all just set in stone, fellas. Just cancel the rest of the season. We don't need to play it out. Cat Posse, congratulations. You guys got the advanced crown for season 5. But in all seriousness, I think actually someone on the Cat Posse team said it after the game was over. They said better to lose now than in playoffs, and
that's true.
both for the curse reasons and non-curse reasons. That's obviously true because for the curse Mimi side, now they won't go undefeated, and now they're much less threatened by the legacy of the IM curse. And then on the non-curse side of things, of course, you lose a match now where it's not as important because regular season playoffs is when it really matters, and hopefully, if they do match up with the Hedge team later again down the line, then they can learn from this match and come out on top the second go around. I do know there were some technical issues. I know Shining Star had some troubles with the internet or supposedly lagging out and stuff like that, so that obviously was a factor. Regardless, though, it was still a close game. I mean, very slow game, as you can see here. Kurama, the only player breaking 200 DPM on the logs. Kurama saying all because I didn't get my shower. Okay, I don't know what that means, but yeah, just a crazy game from what I could see. Unfortunately, I didn't have time this week to go and look at all the matches or the interesting matches of note. But yeah, Goblin Zone with a huge win. I remember Sam posting on TFTV. Hopefully, we go up a couple spots on the power rankings after being ranked at like 13th or something like that. Obviously, feeling a little bit disrespected by Mr. Wing Bacon, but perhaps the next edition of the power rankings will have them feeling a little bit better. But yeah, this was obviously the big name match of the week, the 5-4 upset victory for Goblin Zone. As you can see here, Waldo played 20 minutes of Pyro, so if you're a team that has to play Hedgehog's team or the Goblin Zone this week, good luck, because Gully Wash is probably the best map for Pyro bullshit, as I like to call it. Be prepared. Moving right along here, we had Gaming going up against TSM or TSU, whatever you want to call them here. 5-1 scoreline. I feel like Gaming, I kind of talked about it last week, but they had a really important Sunshine week because they're in the middle of the pack, just like pretty much everybody else. They played TSM and the Portland Burnsiders this week. Two very, very close games. Well, sorry, this scoreline isn't that close, but then their other game, it was a 4-3, which I believe is the third loss of that scoreline for that team this season. So, yes, it sucks to lose those games. However, the one good thing, the silver lining, is that those rounds and that scoreline is going to benefit them should they, be in a playoff jockeying position where, you never know where those extra rounds can come from. And then, I don't have any by WinRAR's teams on this thing to note here, but this game, before I've had this noted down before the death of the original Romney 5, but they suffered a very, very close game here against oh god, I can't, why are they all aliased as cringe? Oh, this is Rock Bottom. So two teams that in this state don't actually mean anything anymore because they're both dead / brand new rosters. But look at these stats. Oh my god, whoever the scout has got 72 frags. Jesus Christ.
What?
Who is this?
Super Ringer.
Oh, I think this is Yimmy. Oh, yeah. Okay, yeah, so Yimmy came in and just fucking
appeared
flexed,
and
dude.
drops
He comes out of retirement, dude. He plays his main in advance, and then he just drops a 70 bomb in a match. Just scout / Yimmy things, man.
That's like plus what, 26 on Tibby.
Yep.
That's unreal.
That's well.
I'd be pissed if I lost to that. Or wait, what was
No,
the
his
score?
his
It says
team
5-5
won.
as
His
well.
team won.
Oh,
Yeah,
okay.
Yimmy's team won this match. Yeah, I think
So if I
Yimmy has.
lost
I think
you'd be
Yimmy has single-handedly gotten the. He's earned the most frags in a single match all season award, and we're still, 3 weeks out. I'd be very hard pressed to find anyone else that'll get a 70 bomb in the regular season remaining. But again, because both these teams, as we know it, no longer live, it's not that important / interesting. And the last one that I have here was the Box Tap. Who can't change their name from predatory lending practices, or he can't change, and then they took on the Zebra XPS team, Monkeys at mid. This was a 5-3 game. Was this the one it was a 3-0 first half for the Zebra team. I want to check how long that first half was. Oh god, I have to go back. So the first half was a 15-minute 3-0, as you can see right here, right? So XBS and Zebra, they were off rolling. Look at Zebra, 400 DPM. The Scouts doing like getting a ton of frags as well. And then the second half, just the box tap did the halftime speech, lucrative, probably, busted out a TED talk, and then 5 rounds in 13 minutes. You want to talk about halftime adjustment? Like, goddamn.
They just got C restricted after being up 3-0.
Yeah, and then look at this Golden and Zia, 18 frags each, only 5 deaths. So they like steamrolled them. Yeah, look at all these rounds, all mid wins, mid to last. Only one round that was like 5 minutes long. That's crazy. But yeah, that's pretty much all the interesting matches. Unless you had anything you noted from Sunshine Week, perhaps that you wanted to discuss before we move on to Gully Wash.
Not really, no. I don't actually pay too much attention.
You just show up and frag. I respect that. I don't know why I just went to matches again.
Dude, I come up and I'm like, okay, who am I playing against? Who's on their team? Okay, let's beat them.
Yeah, speaking of who you're going to be going up against and wanting to beat them this week, I think both your matches are going to be really, really interesting. You're playing the team first, and then if I'm not mistaken, Burnsiders next. No, Goblin Zone next. Oh boy! So you get the pleasure of playing against the Pyro players. Let's talk about this TS versus I Buy WinRAR match first. Have you guys been scrimming the team lately? How you guys feeling? What do you guys think about this matchup?
We've been scrimming them like every week. They have like a different roster every single half, so they're a real wild card. Beatable, I think. But it's so weird because they just have a different roster, and then sometimes they beat us with a roster, and then sometimes they lose to us with a roster, and I'm just like, I'm question marking the whole time because I'm like, what classes do these guys actually play in their matches? So,
yeah.
I'm just gonna say winnable question mark, but I also have an ego, so I'm gonna say winnable with a period.
Ooh, the confidence. You love to see it.
Dubs only, you know what I mean?
Yeah. So I'm very much the same way. I've scrimmed the team over the last couple of weeks, and they have a revolving door of players and lineups, and who knows what they can do. They might dust off something fancy for Gully Wash week, because I think Hayes, Demo, and Medic are like more guaranteed than everybody else on the roster. I don't want to say, don't hold me to that. But
it's literally just a question. It's who do they feel like playing with on the match?
Yeah, who's around? Who's gonna wake up in time, and who just feels like playing? They'll just plug them in there, and then they'll be okay. So yeah, that'll be one of the matches to watch. Looks like that's set to happen Tuesday, as all the other Tuesday matches or the Week 6A matches are. And then Goblin Zone. I have personally not scrimmed the Hedge teams since I think like Week 1 or something like that, so I don't really know the comings and goings of that team outside of looking at their match logs and seeing that Muma played Spy for 5 minutes, Waldo played Pyro for 20 minutes, and the Beggar's Bazooka or direct hit shenanigans. What are you thinking about the second game against Hedgehog Hero, the crowd favorite Demo Man?
I mean, look at the cat policy logs again. I want to see who popped off. Didn't Muma go Spy and like drop Ray like 3 times or something? I'm just gonna bring it back. I'm trying to think about them because honestly, I don't really pay too much against. I haven't paid too much attention to our scrim results against them.
Yeah, I feel like for anyone going up against Goblin Zone this weekend, it's just gonna be like. I feel like it's going to be two parts, 2 stories. One, mids, right? Because obviously mids are an important facet of any 5CP map or even any map in general. And then the second is how they're going to deal with the Pyro, the off-class shenanigans. Were they running
Pyro to mid?
Apparently against Captain Fappin's team on Metalworks, they ran Pyro to mid. So if they ran it on Metalworks, you can bet your ass they're going to do it on Gully Wash, dude. It's the shortest mid rollout in the game, right? So yeah. I feel like you guys or anyone that plays them this week should not be surprised by any sort of Pyro to mid stuff or Beggar's Bazooka stuff.
If they're gonna run Pyro, right? Percy and Air both cracked and goaded out Scout, so I think the Pyro frag might just be free. That's the first thought that comes to mind. The Pyrofrag might be free. The second thought that comes to mind is uh number like 8 ranked Soldier Jumper Tomato Tom.
Yeah.
He's gonna be. Oh, that's a thing. That's a thing. MC needs to be skill. Okay, we have to roll out MC Big Door every single minute, or else Tom's gonna roll out on her at choke.
And even then, it might not be safe enough, dude. Tomato Tom's reach knows
Tomato
no limits.
Tom would do like the shadow over and roll out like across like into Big Door. He has 2 options. It just.
He'll
Oh,
be
no.
in your big door before you guys get there, dude. That's how fast he'll be sometimes. Yes, that's
Yeah,
definitely another
shit.
factor to
Maybe
watch
that
out.
should have been the first thing I thought about. Not the Pyro is the free frag. Maybe it's Tom's gonna kill my demo every mid.
To be fair,
That's what I should be worried of.
they have run up like the most pyro playtime in like the entire div. They probably between Waldo and anyone else that has been playing pyro, I think it's like Waldo, Muma, Tom, maybe like between those three, they might have accumulated more pyro playtime by those three compared to like the entire rest of the division. Honestly, like I'd be hard pressed to find people that love playing pyro as much as these guys do. So we'll see what happens. Goblin Zone's other match, of course, besides I by Winrar, is Portland Burnsiders. So again, we're gonna get into this a little bit later, but these matches are really, really important now. We have Gully Wash Week now, then Clear Cut, and then finally wrapping up with the process. And as you can see here in the standings, really, like, it's really, really goddamn close. Obviously, Cat Posse and Honey Bacon are pretty much locks for playoffs, unless, like, absolute insanity happens and these guys just, like, forget how to, talk and shoot. They're going to be guaranteed. They're going to be in there. But then look at this. If you are not those two teams, and unfortunately, I gotta say, for the Cap and Fappa team, Yas team, their record 2-8 is just a little bit too far back to, I think, to come back. And even if they win out, I don't think 8-8 will be good enough. So I will like soft eliminate them from playoffs. We'll see what happens. I guess it's certainly not they're not mathematically eliminated, but spiritually they might. So if you outside of those three teams, everybody else is fighting
Everyone's
for
in the
playoffs.
fight.
Yeah.
It's actually I was looking at this the other day, and I'm like, damn, dude, like, third place, Team Slalom isn't even safe for a playoff
No,
spot.
they're absolutely not. Nobody is safe right now if you're besides Cat Posse and Honey Bacon, because 5 teams that are 6-4, 6 teams that are 5-5, another 4 teams that are 4-6. So these matches coming up, I would say probably the next 4 might be the most important ones, because that's going to jockey the positioning around, and then how many rounds you get is also going to come into factor. And then by the time process week rolls around, hell, we might not even have like a clear picture by process week, just because of how close this division is. Again, like, dude, can we talk about this? This team, or this div, currently is 18 teams, right? And 15 teams are jockeying for 6 playoff spots. 15 teams for 6 playoff spots, and it's week 6.
Literally everyone in the div could, if they make playoffs, be like, yeah, I could have made playoffs that season.
Yeah, basically.
It's not even a competition. Well, okay, that's
Well,
the opposite. It's very much a competition, but it's yeah.
Yeah, it's crazy. It's currently 8 playoff spots, Boolean flags. However, if the apocalypse happens and we lose a couple more teams, hopefully RGL will have enough common sense to drop the number down. Because as it stands right now, it's 8 out of 18, which is okay. Not great, but you'd rather have top 8 than top 6, just because top 6 is cringe, and you don't want to do that shit. So, again, I've literally reiterated this every single week of the season on the show and on the forums. Like, you are in this. If you are a team in advance right now, you are very much in it, and you can get into playoffs. And that's going to be a nice little thing to put on your gamer resume, as it were, considering how crazy this div has been. But looking back at some of the other matches, of course, we talked about Goblin Zone, we talked about I by Winrar. What's the other one? Where is my cheat sheet? There it is. I also listed Portland Burnsiders versus Dior Addicts. So Dior Addicts had a crazy game on Sunshine too, where they took a 5-4 victory over the team, and now this week they're up against Lobsters and Burnsiders. So yeah, they also recently added Rick Rigatoni to the team as well. Pandu just joined them, though I think he's a sub. So I'm scrimming them earlier or later this week, so I'll maybe have a little more information on them because I haven't played them since Viaduct Week in a match, as you can see there. But they have pretty important games too because they've played Cat Posse already, they've played TS they've played Honey Bacon, and now Burnsiders are pretty much. Have they played you guys?
Diuretics, we play them on
Oh,
Villa.
you played them on Villa. Okay, yeah, it was a 4-3 super close game. So yeah, like they've already been matched up against a lot of the other teams so far, and now Burnsiders is perhaps the last of the big names in their way as far as the regular season is concerned. So we'll see how that one shakes up. And then again, like really, we could sit here and talk about like all of these matchups all day because again, these are 6-4, 5-5, 4-6 teams. So everybody's super super close. Matches have been trading left
I
and
think
right.
I
Scrims have been
think
trading left and right.
I think the all around advanced podcast for episode 7 and episode 8 are gonna be like
Oh man,
mad. Are
dude.
gonna be crazy. You're gonna be sitting there like, okay, so we got like 30 matches this week, and I'm gonna have to look at all of them and know all of them because because we still have 15 teams fighting for six more playoff spots.
Yeah, it's gonna be a real dogfight down the stretch, and I, for one, cannot wait to see it. Hopefully, again, teams stay alive. Any of the ones that are perhaps more living a little bit more dangerously, like feet on the edge of the cliff. Hopefully, they take a couple steps back, recollect themselves, and again, keep their eyes on the prize, which is at this point in time a playoff spot. Because again, 15 teams or whatever it was, I already forgot, but a lot of teams vying for those spots. And who knows if Cat Posse or Honey Bacon perhaps stumble a little bit later down the line as well. You might even see a chance for a really juicy playoff seed as well if they suffer a loss, an upset loss somewhere down the line. But of course, that will remain to be seen. That's pretty much all the stuff we wanted to cover. Now, I know Mr. Winged Bacon is probably working on the next edition of the Power Rankings that'll be posted maybe before matches start off this week. But I'm going to ask you, Grape Juice the Third, Roaming Soldier of I by Winrar. I want you to look at the standings right here, right? And I want you to give me a 6-4 team that you guys have been impressed with. If I guess I know you said you haven't really been paying attention through scrims, but like whether it's from scrims or just match results, give me a 6-4 team you have your eyes on, and then give me a 4-6 team you guys have your eyes on. And I'm not going to make you pick from the 5-5 just because there's a lot more, and you guys are part of that group.
Okay, so the 6-4 team probably Goblin Zone because they beat Cat Posse. That's pretty impressive. Um, that's it's. I mean, it was a close match and a 5-4, but still, Cat Posse's been on a roll. So I think to be the team that beats them, that means a lot.
Yeah.
So, Mr. Wing Bacon, give Goblin Zone some props on your power ranking
I
list.
have a sneaky suspicion that Goblin Zone will be a little bit better than 13th for the next edition of the Power
W
Rankings. That's
Bacon's
just
gonna,
my guess.
W Bacon's gonna drop him at like third or something.
Oh, you dropped him at third. I thought you were gonna say he was gonna lower them from 13th, like give him a worse position.
No. From 13th to third, like
Yeah,
plus 10.
yeah. That certainly doesn't seem out of the realm of possibilities as far
And
as the
then a
Power Rankings is concerned.
4-6 team. I gotta look at these rosters. That I'm impressed with, or for the 4-6 team that I'm impressed with, or a team that could fight for a playoff spot.
You could do both. Like you could do a mix. I mean, granted, there's only 4 of them here, but Lobsters, St. Jude's, the new Romney 5. I guess that's pretty hard to predict, right? Because we don't know how they've actually been doing yet because they just got announced basically with their new lineup.
I'll do the cop out answer here.
The Great Mage.
I'm not allowed to say my own team.
No. Yeah, because they're 5-5. Yep.
Yeah, and I'm part of that group. Okay, William, pay attention, bro. Yeah, I gotta take the cop out answer. It's gonna be Lobsters.tf because the only person who I with 100% certainty say that I know who they are is Oni, and that's Suika.
Yes,
and I
sir.
played on a team with them in season 26. The rest of these players, for me, they kind of came out of nowhere. Again, I don't really pay attention to like who's playing what div, who's on what team's doing very good. So take that with a grain of salt. But like 5 out of their 6, I have pretty much no clue who they are, except for like Suika. So
Hashtag the Great Mage. join his fan club if you haven't already. I'm sure people are in there.
Is there a Steam group for that? I might
I
have
think
to
there's
join
a.
up.
I think it's a Discord actually, because
Oh fuck.
we're in 2021 now. Grape Juice. Nobody uses Steam
Okay, but
groups
people use
anymore.
Steam groups and they pin it to their profile picture or their profile. Sorry.
Yeah, but only boomers do that, like me. TF2 boomers do that. Listen, these are
I
TF2
dude, whenever I
Zoomers.
see someone like with a group and it's just pinned to their profile and it's like fan anime avatars, that's pretty funny. That's peak comedy to me.
But yeah, now Steam groups are the past. Discord groups are the future. The Great Mage stock is on the rise and has been pretty much this whole season. Again, this team was a main team last season, so they are showing once again the tried and true tale of sticking together yields great results when you got a group of talented gamers, talented individuals that are, communicating with each other and working hard. Obviously, 4 and 6, not ideal, but again, they're absolutely still in it, dude. Like this week they're going to be playing the new Romney 5 and DR Addicts. So let's say they sweep those games, 6 and 6, right back in the swing of things. I mean, they still already are in the swing of things. Who am I kidding, right? Like they've had crazy games this season already. A 4-3 loss to you guys, a 4-3 win over Gaming, the upset Villa week on against the Burnsiders. So and especially for Gully Wash, right? Oni's gonna be like destroying people on mids and maybe just in general because he's definitely not only has he shown that he's got the drip, he's got the damage, the stat line to prove it as well. Great Mage to the moon, yes sir. Everybody knows that.
The drip brings fear into the opponent's eyes.
Dude, yeah, man. They'll like shit. That guy got a 10.
This guy got a 10.
Nobody else got a 10 in the entire division. That was like 18 teams.
Fear is being stricken in everyone's heart when they see him.
We do some quick maths. 18 times 6, that's over 100 players. 108 players, I believe. Yes, sir. So 1 out of 108 players got a 10, and he's the only one. So his drip, his swagger, his stats, they're all super powerful. And yeah, everyone knows to invest in lobsters moving forward. But that is pretty much it for me today on All Around Advanced. We talked about a couple of the roster news. We talked about how close this div is, and we will continue to be preaching that for the rest of the season. I promise you. I promise you that. For heading into Clear Cut Week and then Process Week, and then the playoffs, I'm just going to be talking about how goddamn close, like, everything is. All these matches, 1-round victories, like, just barely hanging on, and then again, only 2 teams at 9-1. Only 2 teams are comfortable right now in the division. Everybody else is like, whew.
I also realized that Cat Posse and Colon Slash have yet to like play each other yet.
They've played each other already.
Oh wait,
they played on Metalworks Week, and Cat Posse took a 5-2 victory.
Okay. I thought they were both undefeated before last week. That's my bad.
Yeah. So the Slanty Face, aka Honey Bacon, their only losses to Cat Posse, and then Cat Posse's only losses now to Goblin Zone.
Right, okay.
What that match did, I guess we can spend a little time talking about this before wrapping things up. So what the Goblin Zone team did now is make it so that Cat Posse and Honey Bacon Club, they are fighting for each other for that number 1 spot now, because it's going to come down to rounds. They're not going to play each other again in the regular season. It's about who's going to have more rounds won and less rounds lost at the end of the day to determine who gets that number 1 seed. Of course, obviously, if one of them loses another regular season game, that will throw a wrench into the calculations as well. But as it stands right now, it's a race between those 2 teams to see who's going to, I guess, dominate in matches more, so that way they can secure the number 1 spot heading into playoffs. But yeah, Hedge's team just did a crazy thing on Sunshine Week, that is for sure. But like I said, ladies and gentlemen, that'll be all from me today on All Around Advanced. This was episode 6. I was joined by the great Grape Juice III. Tell the people where they can find you. Give me some shout outs, and then we'll wrap up the stream here.
Twitch.tv/grapejuice___. Grapejuice on YouTube. Grapejuice III on Twitter. Fuck yeah. Watch my stream when I play TF2. Watch my epic frag videos. Thank you.
Wait, do you have 3 underscores in your Twitch on purpose?
Well, I couldn't be grapejuice_. I couldn't be grapejuice__. So it ended up being ____, and I'm like, hey, 3
Holy
underscores.
shit, dude.
Kind of matches. It's kind of
It's
kind
your
of works.
it's your destiny. Just like when JoJo, the RGL rated 7 player, got a 7 on the drip ratings. It's just god damn. You can probably hit Twitch up for the name that says our wonderful division admin Jamond. Oh, you already talked to Slyn about it, so
I've
there
talked
you
to Slyn
go.
about
Yeah.
it. He said get in touch with customer support, and I'm like,
Sad.
yeah, I'll do that.
Okay, I'll head out. Bye.
Yeah, I'll do that whenever I do it. I don't know.
Alrighty. Well, that's gonna be it. Thanks for tuning in, everybody. Good luck this week on Gully Wash to you, Grape Juice, and everybody else. If you're playing in advance, even if you're not playing in advance, good luck in Gully Wash week, man. I guess if you're invite, you're not on Gully Wash week, but whatever. We don't care about invite players here. Good luck, have fun, and may the rounds be in your favor. And we'll see you guys back again next Sunday, the usual time, for another episode of All Around Advanced. This is Terry. I'm signing off. Have a good night, everybody.